I can just tell you on your last fucking thread.
We're hanging in there. Welcome to the Let's Get Bread podcast, where we don't get paid and our lawyer quit.
But we still got Connor. Thanks, Connor.
Connor, we love you. Lucas, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you? I think I already know the answer to that.
I'm running on fumes. I got nothing. I just noticed the camera is like a full 3 inches lower than the other one.
Whatever. You're like that Linkin Park song. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe. That song kicks ass.
Oh my god! Yeah, we are just circling the drain.
Oh my god, aren't we ever?
I got nothing.
It's hard out there for everyone. I don't know anyone right now
me.
who's doing particularly amazing.
Meghan McCain. Probably.
Why?
She's probably just happy as a clam.
Why not?
What can you do?
I think, didn't she just get some gay award? I thought I saw like,
Probably.
there was, like some hubbub, like GLAAD or someone,
God.
and everyone was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
She's still a Republican, although I will say of the Republican, now it's gotten to the point where if you're not just a fucking Nazi, you're okay.
Yeah, sure. I mean, listen, I'm fully prepared for the inevitable happenstance that the WeHo City Council is going to ask Erica Kirk to be the Grand Marshal at Pride one of these years. Just because, like, oh, her pants sparkle.
Oh, God.
Oh boy. So anyway, what are we talking about?
I thought it would be kind of nice to go down memory lane.
I need you to drop this tone right now. Nope. If you stop.
Oh, look at my loose sock. I
need a lighter.
Would you fix my loose sock?
No.
Would you fix my loose sock?
Your weird cartoon character sock.
It's a little sock puppet.
It's like
Look at
in cartoons when they
I see
draw
some
socks.
Look at, do you see some detergent? It's blue. And look at a little fuzzy dust because you don't clean your apartment.
So this is going to be the last episode of the podcast. This is it. This is the final hurrah.
No, but back to what I was saying. I think it'd be nice to go down memory lane and talk about first impressions.
The first impressions of any and everything. But if you say memory lane, that leads me to think, what are we remembering? What first impressions?
What was your first impression of me?
Let's see here. I would have seen you first at the old noodle factory.
Mm-hmm. Which is now closed. I just watched them empty the damn place out.
Yeah. That's
Sunset Boulevard and Martel.
Yeah, Def Noodles. He has currently lost his election for U.S. Congress.
Who saw that coming?
Who saw that coming? What a fucking flop. Yeah, I saw you at the old noodle factory, and you're doing your set about being a gay homosexual from North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, and I've got the web toes to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, hate that.
My parents aren't brother and sisters, they're cousins.
Yeah.
Which isn't true.
I thought you had lovely hair.
Thank you.
Curly and lovely and nice. Quite different from now. The style, the style's different. You didn't have so much of all the business in the back.
Yeah.
It was a little more party in the front.
Mm-hmm.
Business in the back. I think I was probably with Jason Bornstein when I first saw you.
Sure.
Friend of the pod, frenemy of the pod, Jason Bornstein, who does not put me on close friends stories anymore. We discovered this the old-fashioned way when a friend was like, did you see Jason's story? He was posting about this, that, and the other. And I looked, I was like, no, I don't see it. Then my friend turns and there's a little green circle around it. It's like, oh.
You've been exiled,
I've been removed, yeah.
That is a harsh reality when that happens.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm good. Jason, I love you.
Yeah. When someone like, I guess when it's romantically, or not even romantic, but like if you're like, oh man, that person's hot. And then you're on the close friends, you're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, like a week later, you found out you're off. You're like, oh.
Did this happen to you recently? Was it an old movie?
No, not that I can remember it. Probably the last time I remember it happening would have been back in like the Minneapolis era.
Oh, I see.
So years ago.
I feel like your old movie cinema fan group, there's a lot of internecine fighting happening with them.
I don't have an old movie. You're my cinema friend, believe it or not, which is sad
Ooh, that's
because
bad.
don't
Yeah,
like
you could
watching
do so
anything.
much better in this godforsaken city. Yeah.
The problem with old Hollywood people is they're all introverted. So I have like, I guess I have like phone friends. I have texting
Yeah,
buddies where I'll
yeah.
text
You got your
photos of them.
you talk to the men on on the internet.
Well, not like that.
Oh, I see.
No, I'm talking my classic movie gals. We all text.
Oh, what was my other first impression of you? Eyes, nose, face. That was about it. Yeah.
How depressing.
Yeah, I didn't. There's no strong impressions either way. It wasn't until we started, I think, until the summer of our discontent when we were unemployed, and we started getting coffee that I was like, oh, this is. I will ruin this man.
To be fair, I will say, and I will just be very upfront about most people when they meet me are unimpressed.
Now, I didn't say that. I just said, because when you do open mics, you see so many people.
Yeah,
and unless you're like seeing them repeatedly every day.
If I'm introduced to someone where they're like, "Hey, meet Lucas," like I feel like I'm pretty good at a first impression. If you were just seeing me out in the wild, though, I look like I've just stepped on a nail. Like I look like I'm in physical pain. I don't want to be there. I went to Palm Springs, as you know, over Memorial Day weekend. I went to, it was pool party after pool party, etc. And the amount
Another club.
literally,
Bust.
it's just a pool party with a bunch of gay guys wearing fucking fannies.
Fanny pack.
What I meant to say was a cami or like a. But no, at these pool parties, people would come up to me. I can't tell you, like 5 to 10, somewhere in that range. 5 to 10 different people would come up and say,
I thought you meant like 5s and 10s would come up to me only.
they would come up to me and they would say, "Are you okay? Are you having fun? Are you doing well?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm just hanging. It's just my face. My ancestors were Scandinavian. We're from Norway. I'm a Midwestern boy. Like my face is just like that." But that has been a critique, if you will, I've had my whole life. is my face.
Sure. That your first impressions can be hard to surmount.
And then I have to work active. Like I have to like actively be like, "Okay, smile. I need that Vaseline
Yeah.
on my teeth that dancers use."
Did you just hear that? I went German. I said, yo.
Oh, y'all.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do need to smile for them judges a little more sometimes. But, we're working on that. We're working on making you likable.
I was doubling down for a while where I was like, you know what?
I'm grumpy.
It's not my job to make you feel comfortable in the world.
Sure. Yeah, you get out what you put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing. What was your first impression of moi-même?
I admired you because you were like a spunky little kitty in a room that was really unfavorable to gay people. And you were
little kitty.
such a massive faggot that I was like, okay, respect.
That's where Jackson Britt said exactly the same thing. Yeah,
And so I was like, man, I hate the room I'm in right now, but you're the only other gay person in this room. And thank God that you went first because my set is going to be the second gayest set of the night.
yeah. I mean, that was the other big impression I had was that in the same way that like survivors after a shipwreck will cling together, be like, oh, there's the homosexual. Okay, all right, we're gotta get to know this one.
I was surprised you were gay though. And I mean, obviously because I saw you and I didn't hear your voice or hear you talk. And then once you started talking, I was like, oh yeah, he's gay.
Oh, of course.
But upon my initial sighting of you, I think you were in like a flannel, like button up.
It was cold then.
Yeah. I think it might have been like in the winter.
Yeah, it's cold, very cold.
And so I was like, oh, you weren't giving gay. And now I'm not sure if you're a boy.
Am I really? Call in. Yeah, it's first impressions are she is a fickle mistress.
Yeah.
Miss First Impressions. She can be your best friend or your worst nightmare. I'm trying to remember that there are times when you can really invest a lot of meaning into a first impression and other times when you should just toss it out. Like comedy is a great example. Open mic comedy. Maybe don't go with your first impression as the bedrock, gospel truth of the person you're seeing on stage.
Totally.
I've been, and this cuts both ways. Like I've seen comics who had a fantastic set, and I've thought, oh wow, I want to get to know this person. I want to know more. And then you meet them, you're like, oh no, let's put all of that back on the shelf.
And half the time, like especially if you're new to comedy or if you're trying out new material, you don't even know what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get through it.
Yeah. And then conversely, I've seen comics who've just had a fucking brutal set where they did just really hack, like misogynistic jokes or whatever, trying stuff out. And brainily, I'm like, oh, you are scum of the earth. You do not deserve to inherit the kingdom of God.
Right.
I will see your ancestors stricken from the earth. You know what I mean? Like I just.
But you have that response based off of lived experiences you've had with people who've said something similar, probably.
Yeah, something like that. But I mean, it's still like there are times when I don't realize like that was just one moment that you saw that person.
Yeah.
And you need to probably not put your thumb on the scale of, let him hang himself. Just. Oh, God, that was grim.
I'm sure you'll find you meant that metaphorically, right?
I'm sure you'll find I meant that metaphorically, except for...
Do you remember the first, our first friend date?
No.
How could you?
We got a coffee somewhere? Mm-hmm. At Thunder Roads.
You suggested a place on Sunset. It is right next to Blackwood, but I can't remember what it's called. It's like a coffee shop.
Oh, that horrible coffee shop. Awful. Horrible. Yeah.
We'll not say it out loud because they don't need the bad whatever.
Yeah, the furniture's all mismatched and really lumpy.
a brutal iced coffee. I remember drinking it and being like, I'm never coming back.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I didn't even know Blackwoods was there. I think that's probably why I went to that cafe.
Yeah.
And it was just close to the old noodle factory.
And to be clear, they're not known for their coffee. It's like you can get food and whatever, but I was like, oof.
Yeah.
And
so you judge me on my coffee. You'd still judge me on my coffee choices.
You judge me.
I'm sure you'll find that's not true.
You're always like, you like a multi coffee. And I'm like,
that's an observation, not a judgment. Okay, that's an observation.
I've never once.
You don't even know what multi means.
I don't.
Ugh, your palate. You have the palate of an 11-year-old.
Listen, if it's got the stuff in it, I'm good.
That stuff. Simone. God, I love Simone.
But I remember thinking in our little friend date, I was like, oh, this person doesn't think I'm very smart. You were like very much like, it felt very like you didn't up down me, but you did with like just the vibe. It just
interesting.
Yeah.
I
could tell your guard was up. I feel like what you thought of me, I think you thought I was a WeHo faggot.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
Which, I mean, geographically I am. But.
Ditto. Yeah. And the good people of TikTok have let us know that as well. Been getting some comments about the weird fucking body clip. And Lucas hopefully has, I kept telling Lucas, tell them I have psoriasis. It hasn't helped. Yeah. Okay. So, speaking of which, I did that sort of thing yesterday. Now that you mention it, I did a sketch. I filmed a sketch. Can't say what, where, when, or why. And in said sketch, there was a darling twink who was wearing a crop top that just barely covered his niplets. Okay. Beautiful sculpted abs, sweet child, the sort of like, really, really love, like you picture WeHo twink. Mm-hmm. He's kind of what pops into your head, just like booty shorts and a crop top. It was pink, of course. And so he was, I was asking him rapid fire questions because that's just the sort of, monster that I am, where I'll put somebody on the spot and see, just shake them up and see what comes out. And so I just went like, what's your favorite Tolstoy novel? And he goes, Toy Story movie? It's like, not necessarily. And then he went, Anna Karenina. I was like,
At least he knew.
I said, I like you, kid. Stick with me. You're going to go nowhere.
Yeah. Honestly points to him for even knowing.
Delicious answer. I was very, very delighted with that. And then the other's like, I liked Toy Story 3. I was like, yeah. I ugly cried at it. So yeah, I can see that, where I was the Velociraptor testing the electric fence and seeing where.
But it was an instance where I was like, oh, someone who looks like I was like, he hates me. And someone who looks
And I do.
and someone who looks like me has hurt him or made him feel bad.
Interesting. Oh, this is gonna cut
you
too
were,
deep.
You were so like, but I was like, oh, and it wasn't that I wanted to win you over, but I was like, oh, he just doesn't take me seriously, and that was more hurtful than anything you've ever said to me. And you've said horrible things to me. But also, I feel like your response was like a protection for you. You were like,
Probably.
yeah. You were like, I can't take this person seriously.
I'm famously sharp elbowed. This is one thing that over the years I've stopped wanting to look under that particular rock in the art as like people's first impressions of me, because like you will get your feelings hurt so hard. And like you get to feel so uncertain when somebody I just, why do I want to pick up that rock and look at all the ugly, crawly things underneath?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm a busy businesswoman.
Yeah.
I've got 3 kids to take care of, one of whom was taken by the county. I'm trying to think, like, there was a guy I dated in DC back in the day. Didn't work out, obviously. And we, it was like relatively vanilla, normal date. Nothing went wrong. Nothing went really that right, I guess. And we reconnected after maybe a year, something like that. Just, bumped into each other, and he texted me again. And he told me, he's like, yeah, I just, I've been looking for somebody to date that like is intellectual and like loves reading and all the, I'm hearing it's like, what impression did I give off at our first meeting where none of those registered to him?
Right.
I'm like, what did I do? And fortunately he kept going. He's like, and who just like, essentially what he's saying, like, I want somebody who reads what I tell them to, and I want somebody who like watches the movies I tell them to. And then he said, and I'll never forget this, I just want to find my own faggot who I can just break down and build up into something else. What? Okay. All right. Bullet dodge.
Well, and if there's one thing I've learned about you is you can't be broken.
Oh, horse puck.
Yeah.
I think you'll find I can be. You can take your best shot. Please don't. I cry a lot. Have been crying a lot.
Yeah.
I've had moments now where people's first impressions of me are me crying.
Night and day different than who I first met.
Woo! Yeah,
That's probably okay though. Let them know you're real. Let them know you're human.
That I'm here to play the game. Okay, that I'm here to win.
That I'm here to win. My whole heart is in this. My blood,
This
my
is my
sweat,
everything.
my tears.
Yeah, I have put my heart and soul into RuPaul's Drag Race, and I am not here to make friends. Okay. I told you this. I used to take a selfie every time I would cry.
Oh, I hate that fact about you.
Yeah. And it just keeps happening so much that I've stopped doing it.
That is textbook narcissism. I hate to break it.
It was just so rare. It was just something that happened so rarely when I was younger. I had more cartilage in my left knee.
I just know every gay boy does that at some
Probably.
point in their life. They're in the backseat of their car driving to like the soccer game when they're 11, and they're like listening to JoJo on their iPod.
Oh,
Yeah.
one of the ones with the circle like this. Yeah. No, I really, truly, I began to wonder, I was like, what do I look like when I'm this not good? Turns out really blotchy. A lot of like,
You looking at Smeagol?
pretty much. Yeah. I sent my sister a bunch. I told my sister this, just like send me every one of these photos, and I didn't. And it's just it's not a great look, I got to tell you, despite what that dermatologist said. Not a winsome look, and a lot of fellas have seen this little lady. I do most of my public crying at Miss Melbourne's over on Santa Monica. Okay, if you're walking by and I'm on the patio and I'm on the phone, look away. I'm probably crying.
I've recently was crying in public too. I've been listening to Noah Kahan's album. And I know you're not into it, whatever, blah, 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 but he's a folk singer. He's from Vermont. He reminds me of his music reminds me of my home in North Dakota, et cetera, et cetera. But
Vermont is the North Dakota of New England.
They're not similar in any way other than it's just a place no one's been. And all I will say is, like, I was listening to his music. It's very introspective. It's very sad. And I just was full on bawling the other day, and someone walked by me, and I'm like, they're gonna think I'm having like the worst day of my life when I'm just in my feelings. Like, it was just a pleasant cry though. But yeah.
I mean, I'm also the sort of person where I'm very much aware of like if somebody's noticing that I'm crying, like, okay, I see scenery and it needs chewing.
So again, see the narcissism note earlier. Yeah.
It's getting better with age. No, it's not. That's a lie. That's a dirty lie.
What do you think about people's first impressions of your Instagram page? What would you think they would say about you if they were
Flop.
creeping on you?
I think they would see my Instagram like, oh no, this is nobody. This is a flop. I am not a social media girly in that way at all. Nothing about my presence is curated or
Same.
or intentional in any meaningful way. Yeah. Don't look at my Instagram. Follow me, but don't look.
Yeah, I just can't be bothered with that anymore. I don't know. Social media used to be about showing like experiences, and then obviously we don't need to get into it. It's boring. We all know how it is now, but it sucks being here because I do think that there is something to be said about having that currency.
And I just...
It's tough though. I hear you. I'm with you. And in what we want to do, it's very helpful. It would be very helpful.
Yep. In the words of Maria Bamford, weakness is the brand. That's what we're doing out here.
I love her.
We went and saw her at 9 a.m. yesterday.
I'm obsessed with her.
She...
No one does it better than her. She is the best right now.
Really, truly greatest living comedian.
Yes.
She does an hour show in Glendale or wherever. Where did we end up? Glendale.
Yeah.
And she'll just post and say, hey, I'm running a new hour. Come by 9 a.m. So we went.
Pay what you can.
Which
is fucking crazy for someone of her caliber to do that.
Went and saw her and ugly laughed the entire time.
Yeah.
I mean, just really, truly, it was extraordinary. I will say... Lucas drove because he's a Christian and generous in that way. And I had sent him the flyer the night before. Okay. And it had the address helpfully posted on it. I get in the car and off we go. Okay. And it's the valley. I rollerblade everywhere. I don't know where we're going. We end up in downtown Burbank and Lucas goes, okay, where are we going now? And I said, what? And he says, I just put Burbank in the GPS. The show's in Glendale. The show's fully in Glendale, not Burbank. And I just said, why did you do this? Why have you done this? And he said, I don't know. I just imagine, that was my first impression of you. I'd be like, I can never speak to this faggot ever again. Like, you made me late to see Maria Bamford.
Okay, but also some context. The night before, you invite me at like 9:30 p.m. I go, okay, cool, sure. Are you driving? And you go, no, you are. So I'm like, okay, am I actually invited or does he just need a ride? So then we go. It's at like 7:30 in the morning, mind you.
Horse puck. We left at 8 something.
Or we left at 8, you're right. And then I woke up at 7:30. I literally was so tired not for some reason. I was editing our podcast, which we won't get into. Very late into the wee hours. And then
we really got to get somebody.
I truly didn't, like, the first 10 minutes of meeting you yesterday, I don't know what we talked about.
Yeah.
I was exhausted.
Yeah. And he just plunked Burbank into the...
Well, and then the sketch that you were talking about was in Burbank, and so I confused the two. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It wasn't my best moment.
Yeah, I
just adding a little coloring.
Sure. I think that's important context for all of our readers at home.
I think if you invite someone somewhere, you should drive.
Gasoline is just so dear.
Correct. And you invited me.
Yeah. And you did a fabulous job driving.
No, I didn't. I also was a little kind of like, there was a few almost accidents. It wasn't my greatest outing.
Yeah, I didn't like the music either.
You criticized the music the whole time.
I did. So I think we're learning I give off really bad first impressions. If that was your first impression.
You also were talking nonstop.
I was on one.
Jabber jaw.
That was incredible. I noticed, I was like, wow, I'm really going. We gotta bottle this up and sell it.
I think that was part of it too, is I'm so used to my like solitary, like slow mornings. And then all of a sudden it's like Everett right away. And I'm like, oh no.
Well, we had our coffee and then I had that sugary donut.
And the sugars.
I had the sugars. So I was just bouncing off the walls on the drive back. Yeah, it's hard. Listen, you never get a second chance to make first impression.
How often are you correct about your first impression? If you had a ballpark percentage.
Ooh. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't think of like. I don't think I put a lot of stock in. Okay, hold on. I want to treat this question with the respect and gravity that it deserves. Okay, let me have a think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's people who the first impression is first and foremost. Okay, I respect God, and the first impression is the thing that's going to make me be like subscribe or unsubscribe, right? Mm-hmm. And if I unsubscribe, I'm not missing anything really. Generally, right. I've found if the first impression leads me to say thanks but no thanks, mm-hmm. I can't think of a single instance where I've been like, no, wait, I want a do-over. There have certainly been a lot of first impressions that somebody cleared that hurdle, and I was like, we gotta get them out the door. This is bad. You can't stay.
Right.
So yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know how long I'm going to try that again. I don't know how many times I've been right or wrong on a first impression, just because it's hard to quantify.
Yeah.
Have you been keeping track?
I would say I feel like as someone who runs a little bit more introverted, I've reached a point in my life where, have you ever heard of the saying, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies?
No.
So it's a metaphor for friendships. I would rather have like close-knit quality friends rather than like a bunch of like acquaintances. Correct. And so I do think I am probably a little bit more.
Were you in the program? You in AA? You a friend of Bill's?
No, I'm not actually, but I know a lot about it.
Seems like an AA aphorism.
No, a therapist told me that years ago. But I think I'm just at the point where I'm a little bit more choosy is going to be the nice word of saying it. And then the mean way of saying it is bitchy. So I'm probably a little bit harder to break in.
Did I just outbitch you? Is that what happened?
What do you mean?
Was I just choosier and bitchier than you were at our first impression? Did I win the bitch off?
Yeah. You weren't open at all. I was trying to gather, and in fairness, I was like, he's gay, he's in comedy, he's doing what I want to do. I don't know if we have anything in common, but we should go and get a coffee. And then you were like, yes, I might be gay, but you are stupid.
I'm really trying to think of like first impressions. So here's one thing. I've had first impressions be very wrong. Not in like, I should never have, like I should have left you on that street corner. It's never been like that. My first impression of somebody who I've still remained in touch with, like, you've turned out to be a completely different person than I expected. And I'm okay with that. Like, wow, did I miss the mark? That I've had a lot of.
That sucks when that happens. It's also worse when like I've had it where my first impression of someone is negative leaning. They win me over. And then I end up getting fucked over because they are exactly who I thought they were when I first met them. And that is like the most torturous.
Sure. That does suck.
Especially when it's linked to romance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And board games. Woo. Hate that.
I just love Sorry.
Big Settlers of Catan house here.
Hate that game.
Yeah, that can ruin friendships.
Fuck.
But like for instance, Mike Duncan, local talent.
First and last name.
First,
thankfully, an anonymous name.
And nobody will ever know who this is. Yep. He is, by design, he's very standoffish, unpleasant, truculent, and sour. And I just love him. And first impression of him was very much like, oh, he's just that type of person where he's very prickly, and you can still tell there's like the core.
He's got a big heart.
There's a nice, well, it's enlarged, but yeah, there's a nice pulpy center to him that you can scoop out like an aloe plant, Mm-hmm. And then the more that I got to know him, I was like, oh, that first impression wasn't entirely correct. He's actually a lot more dynamic and emotional and interesting.
Yep.
And it's not just the delight of, cracking open the thorny exterior.
I also think cranky people and irritable people are usually the best people. In terms of like, yes, they might be unpleasant to be around from time to time. Yes, they might make you feel uncomfortable upon initial greeting. However, I have found over and over again, they're usually the most sensitive. And
They're
caring.
called Parisians. I'm sure you'll find. I guess. I mean, yeah. In that same vein, Jackson Britt, another example of somebody who,
Right.
and then now there's a first impression that was way off the mark. Even though I still the first impression was like, yes, subscribe. I want more. He's a monster. He's a sociopath, a dead-eyed cold fish. Okay. That part I was right about. But there is an emotional intelligence to him that you just wouldn't get
Right.
otherwise. And he very, I think, deliberately hides that
Yep.
by being a complete dirtbag. And Jackson, I miss you. Please come back to LA. So that's been a delightful discovery that he's actually an emotionally intelligent and lovely person. But
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I would say back to the initial question, it's probably like I'm probably right 60% of the time. Where I'm like, yep, I can tell.
who is your biggest wrong? Oh, that might get sensitive.
Yeah.
We're
not going there.
Let's talk. Okay, I want first and last names. I wonder, have you found somebody who, despite all of the bad first impressions and you're being right about their first impressions, that you still have to like, that you still have to be around, and you can't say me?
And I like them in spite of.
Maybe what I'm asking is like, is there anyone in your life who you've had that bad first impression with, who you're right about that bad first impression, but they still are in your orbit and you have to see them and deal with them?
I don't have to deal with them, but I do because I think this is probably my codependence showing up. But like when you're my friend and I learn about like your flaws, I end up like not excusing them. Like I think some people are like, write them off, and I'm like, but they're this way because of this experience, and this experience sucked for them, and so I get that this is a part of why their DNA now. And so I accept their flaws, but in doing so, I'm always like, oh, it's really fucking annoying, and I'm gonna talk shit about you to all my friends because I need to get through this. And so, yeah. Did that answer your question? Probably not. It's a good question. I guess I don't really know.
When was the last time you faced a challenge, and what did you do to overcome it?
Oh, man. I think by now I'm a verbal processor.
Tell me about a time when you faced adversity in the workplace.
I went to a work dinner in Delray, Florida.
Now, there's a time for bad first impressions, which I will excel at making bad first impressions, is a job interview.
I'm so good at interviews.
I am the fucking worst.
Why?
I don't care about the job ever. So, yes, please, I'd love to work at your mid-sized regional bank. I want to be part of something larger than myself. What are we doing? I put on the monkey suit. I kissed the ring. My rent is due. Can we please just move this along? Just tell me I had a job interview. I'd gotten, this was almost 10 years ago at this point. Mid-sized regional bank really took you out, huh?
I just know you so well now that now I'm like, oh, he would be horrible to interview. But
Awful. I mean, when there was something on the line, like when there was, oh, I'm going to starve to death and be homeless if I don't get this job, there's like a frenetic anxiety to me which just is like job repellent. It's just
afterwards, when you tanked it, you just crawl back under the bridge.
it's just pull over, fart, and walk out. And like there's nothing else to do. I don't know. So I'd gotten fired from a gig, a hideously abusive boss, just really, really cruel to me. And it just I was having panic attacks, multiple per day at this job. And of course, once the job ends, the trauma continues. And I was interviewing at a big, dumb, fancy company in DC. And some jerk off tech, fucking financial analytics bullshit. Like, I hope they fucking go out. I hope that CEO's children howl for hunger. Because I go into the interview and they're asking me the normal interview questions. And he asks me, he's like, so why did you leave your last job? What?
I hope that CEO's children howl for hunger.
Yeah, you see what I mean. Those are bad guys. Fuck the CEOs. Whatever. Anyway, asked me the question about, like, why did you leave your last job? And like very pointedly asked this because he, for some reason, he just wanted to ask all the difficult questions. It was like, it was the usual sort of like CEO, white man, mid-50s, hair, eyes, nose, mouth, all that, just sitting back chewing gum. He's like, why should I hire you? I was like, oh, it's one of these. I was like, oh no, Mary. I would rather suck dick on command than have to fucking tap dance for my supper. Like,
Well, and that's a really good example of a terrible first impression where you're like, unsubscribe, done, out.
Yeah, and I needed something from this fucking sociopath. I needed money so that I didn't fucking lose my apartment.
Right.
And so I forget, whatever rote answer I had. I mean, what do you say? Like, why should I hire you? I'm like, I cry a lot.
I get absolutely no work done.
I'm very jumpy. And then afterwards he goes, so why'd you leave your last job? And I was just like, yeah, it was just not a match is what I started with. And that's sort of like as professional as you can get with, I hated the fucking joint. Everybody was shitty. I was like, just was not a match in terms of my professional goals and, work culture, culturally not a match. He says, yeah, so what happened? I was like, well, to be frank, it was just really a very hard environment to succeed in. A lot of, the boss made it difficult to get by, like to shout a lot. And it was just really hard to deliver on a task. And he goes, I don't have the fucking time for this. Your answer, not a good one. And then he got up and stormed out.
That's horrible.
Utterly, utterly dehumanizing in the most privileged first world way of saying that. Like, and the woman left behind in the room, she goes, he storms out and she looks at me. She goes, I forget what exactly she said, but she's like, it's probably better. It's probably not a fit for us. And I said, sister, I'll see myself out. And I just left.
I'm horrified.
It was so horrific. And I was like, yes, it was a bad first impression. I had just come from this fucking abusive job where I was having 4 to 5 panic attacks a day.
Yeah.
And this guy could sense that in me. And so he just wanted to drill down and get rid of me, I think. Or, it what's the word? Incited that predator response in him.
Well, and it sucks too that you had that experience because now I didn't know. I mean, of course that can happen to you. I would never assume that would happen. But now that you've had that experience, you're like, this could happen again.
Oh, yeah.
So every interview is going to be stressful now.
Yeah. I mean, every interview since then, I've been a lot more, I think interviewing since then has actually been, that's really the worst thing that could have happened. So like, in this case, I'm like, seen worse. Mm-hmm. And it's not been nearly so horrific. But then again, it is just... that's one rock I don't want to lift up and be like, what did you see?
You would be really good at interviews because I feel like for me, every time I'm in an interview situation, it's an opportunity to make people laugh. And I think that if you can make someone laugh, that sets you apart.
It always depends on the stakes. If there's money at stake, if this is an income, if there's insurance tied to it, it's a fundamentally different proposition than
making people laugh.
Yeah.
The comedy, obviously, you're not going to lean in with like, my big gaping asshole. But it's like people love self-effacing humor. People love like self-awareness. And I think that goes a long way in an interview setting.
I guess. I don't know. Because, in a corporate context specifically, which is an environment designed to be as hostile to human life as possible. A corporate context is designed to squelch the humanity out of you. to extract value for a bunch of people upstairs who would not piss on you if you were on fire.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm not going to give you the faggot minstrel show that I will reserve for audiences at Flappers Comedy Club. Tip your servers. I'd rather wait tables. Like, I'd rather do a gig where there isn't that power imbalance, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like the initial interview.
Stop yelling at me. No, I mean, I can do an interview okay enough. I think if there's, as soon as anything's invested into it, as soon as I'm like, oh, I need this, I'm up backs against the wall.
Sure.
I'll rattle apart in a second. Yeah. Wheels are gonna come off real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to work on that? No. It's authentic.
I do want to work. I'm scared to even put this out there because people will expect change overnight. I do need to work on my face. And I started Botox.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below what on Lucas's face he should fix first.
I think I'm fucked though, because you guys, like, if you met my mom and dad, you would know where I get it from. And I'm not even talking about attitude. Like, we're just a stoic people, us Midwesterners. And specifically the Scandinavian Midwesterners.
Okay, this goes out to TikTok specifically. I want really detailed feedback on Lucas.
Are you Norwegian?
Oh, that too. Yeah. Hi, Norway.
Do people think you're mean?
This is one question that I keep wanting to ask at job interviews now. Whenever I go, I was like, are the women mean there?
Well, and then also too, just do you struggle with that too, having grown up a little faggot, like where you like have to put on like where you have to put on a hard front so people don't fuck with you? Because when you're under 10 as a gay boy, the amount of times people come up to you and say, are you gay? Are you whatever?
Yeah.
So then I think you probably, at least I'll speak for myself, I probably built up a wall to then prevent people from doing that. And so then I would rather be called a dick and mean and stoic than a faggot.
I think I'm more, I went more the clown route. I don't think I went like, I'll beat you up.
Sure.
I think I'm much more like, I'll give you the old 1-2 of set up and a punch.
Yeah.
Distract them, a cloud of ink, and then get away.
Yeah, and I think I was in sports, so my thing was totally tied to, I remember thinking like, I need to be the top scorer on my team because then they can't say that.
Oh yeah, gay overachiever. Yeah.
But then what I learned is I was the top scorer on my team and they still called me a faggot behind my back.
Yeah, I fundamentally lack that overachieving gene. You know that.
Yeah.
You have felt the weight of
and I'm paying for it now. Yeah, burnout's real, baby.
Yeah, your face has really aged a lot since we've started this.
I just got Botox and it's looking amazing. Do you want my Groupon code? I can get it to you.
Oh, yeah, I know.
40 units for $200, 40 units.
And the van had air conditioning.
Mm-hmm. You probably don't know this, but that usually like $8 is good for a unit. So 5 is crazy.
Oh yeah, that's great.
You look like a youthful little baby, a youthful little child.
Well, 13 years of no drinking and crying and selfies while crying to see how I look when it's all falling apart is helpful to curate that.
What do you look for in a first impression on someone when you're dating them? What's like a first impression that you go in looking for?
Very first thing that's going to register as a good impression is quippy. Are we able to volley? Mm-hmm. And the more narcissistic, selfish version of that is, does he find me funny? That's.
I don't think that's narcissistic. That's validation.
Yeah. I'm very much okay. Yeah, we'll say the table stakes, like the thing that's going to keep me at the table. He finds me funny. Mm-hmm. The thing that's going to make me order dessert is if we can volley. That's really, really important. The rest of it, obviously, like, are his hands well kept? Does he have crusty Cheeto dust under his fingernails? No, thanks. I'm good. Is he stopping to take a photograph every 5 minutes?
To be clear, you actually look at their hands?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, hands are
hand
something
health.
I will. That's one of the first things I notice about a man is his hands.
And is that linked to his dick?
No.
No?
I just like the look of a man's hands. I mean, it tells you things about him. I'm sure you'll find.
Like what?
His livelihood.
What do you mean?
I mean, if he shows up with like oil spots and grime, you got yourself a blue collar man.
Okay.
All right. if they're, really, and like mine are a little calloused, if they got really, really ugly
work out.
calluses, yeah, they work out. Maybe he's a climber. You can tell a lot about a man by his hands. You bite your fingernails.
I'm nervous.
Yeah. You're a nervous pooper. I know. So, yeah. And if your hands are super fucked up in like, I don't know, like really, really long nails unkempt like that, that's always a bad first impression to me.
Fascinating. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. What about you?
Are they well kept?
Generally.
Hygiene.
Oh yeah. He can be a fucking rat otherwise if he's got nice hands, but looks like.
I would say hygiene is like literally number one. Like if like showered, taken care of.
Fluoride toothpaste.
Stop it. And that's how you know that affected me so much. That was the worst thing anyone could have said. If you're new here, I didn't know my breath stunk for a week or two because of the toothpaste I was using, and I was horrified.
Yeah. That's
hygiene. When I say fit, I don't even necessarily mean sculpted. I don't even mean like you can have a little extra like weight and stuff. I just need you to go to the gym and like care about that part of your life. I need you, like if someone's like, I don't work out, I'm not going to, I think it's stupid. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
But it's not linked to like the Instagram fit image that we all have. It's just about like move your body and do stuff.
Yeah. I mean, as a woman of your age knows, you're getting older, your body's changing, and you have to maintain it in a different way in your 30s than you did in your 20s.
Yes. And also just, I don't want to sit. I want to like go hiking. Like I want to, and I want
unsubscribe. That's
like, I want to go hiking. I want to do stuff. I don't want to just be around the house on the weekends.
Yeah. That's, what if he doesn't tip?
Hate.
Yeah.
Hate. That's such a good, oh my God, because that just tells me one, you didn't have to work as a teenager, because those typically are when you start in your career, you need those tip jobs. What?
This reminds me, I went on a date with a guy from where the fuck was he from? He was South American but grew up somewhere, maybe Australia, something like that. Like no tipping culture where he came from.
Sure. That's a good point.
I was a waitress at the time and watched him tip like 25 cents on a check of 40 smackers.
Violent.
Horrified.
I would rather.
I was so horrified, and all of my friends who were waitressing at the time were like, "Oh, he should be fucking burned at the stake." Like we're marching, we're getting a protest together, and everybody else is like, "It's a cultural thing." I'm like,
so it is.
Do?
It is, and that is a difficult one. And to be clear, businesses should just pay their employees what they're worth. But the fact of the matter is they don't.
I mean, what do you do? So here's, if they're demanding the waitress, if they're fussy, picky, or if they're otherwise like picking out things that are, let's say, even objectively wrong about their meal, but they keep being like, you got to send us back. And
I went on a date like within the last few months, and he wasn't picky or rude to the waitress, but he just gave her a lot of tasks and a lot of things to do.
Yeah, Ross Matthews is hard to be around like that.
And when I want the server, and I'm not saying this to be rude, I want the server to be wallpaper to my experience. Like, I know that's
a good server should never be seen, only heard.
Not even like that. Like, it's not that, but it's like, I came here to talk to you, and you just have to get our drinks and our food. And like, this isn't your time to perform. I don't need you to read through the menu. I just want.
Also, like, server, I release you.
And so
you don't have to put in.
This guy just was making her work so much. There were so many questions, and like I think he was doing it to try and impress me, but I was like, I need her to go away because I feel bad for her right now. And
I was out to dinner with my aunt before I left DC, and every single time the server touched the table, she's like, "Oh, can I get some lemons?
Hey,
oh, can I get some napkins?
Leave her
would you
alone."
bring me?" And I said, "Margaret, write down everything you need." And then when she comes back after, let's give her a 15-minute cool-off period. When she comes to do the check, do not say anything to her. I will ask her for you.
And people who do that, they don't even want the thing. It's a power thing. It's a weird dynamic of being cared for and looked at and seen.
Yeah, it was I mean, in my aunt's defense, she did want the lemons and the napkins and the everything. Like, she did use it, but I've certainly waited on that personality type, and nothing is going to make me want to give you a bad first impression more.
Did you know lemons are the dirtiest thing in a kitchen?
Oh, of course. Yeah, they just sit.
Never get lemons.
They just sit in all that filth.
And then you squeeze them into your water. Oh, juice.
That's what we make. Sometimes the juice ain't worth the squeeze, but that's why I've got an immune system and I'm on prep. I didn't mean to hit the chord there. That's
Well, to end on a warm and fuzzy, I will say my first impression of you was wrong. I thought you were a mean, nasty, uptight bitch.
You know, my first impression of you was I said that look at that miserable snake-bitten motherfucker. I think, I'm just gonna, echo what I said earlier. Don't have any strong first impressions that I remember of you other than like a gay homosexual comic. And that was the start of something terrifying, something a little horrible, a lot fun, maybe a little spicy. And I'm tired. I cried like 3 times yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you did it, baby. We got through it.
And that bitch from the county still won't let me see Preston.
All right, breadwinners. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Let's Get Bread. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the show.